For most of human history, humans were their own home builders, using materials nearby to build structures out of their minds that fit their lifestyles, and usually in partnership with nature. Somewhere along the way, humanity went astray. We got trapped in a system where we must work constantly for most of our lives just to pay for the home we live in. That's no way to live. Quoted from domegaia.com. Bienvenidos, welcome, and thank you for joining us for Season 1, Episode 11 of the Pana Familia podcast with Eduardo and Nicole, where we discuss our experience relocating to and raising our 3 young children here in Panama, share our journey of building our new farm and home here in Central America, and let you know what we're learning along the way. We're glad you're here. Vámonos!
Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about our Aircrete house, our dome home.
Yeah, we want to share about the Aircrete dome home that we are in the works of designing and going to be building on our land.
We're going to describe how Nicole found out about it and how she sold it to me, because I was pretty skeptical in the beginning, just like everything else Nicole brings up.
You're always skeptical of my ideas.
Always very skeptical when it comes to all her ideas.
And you're the one that calls me vanilla sometimes. But I'm the one who brings these weird ideas to the table.
There's a difference between vanilla and flavorful, like myself. You're just kooky.
Oh, I'm kooky.
So yeah, we're going to talk about how Nicole found it and how she sold it to me and kind of how it's going now. So why don't you start off how you found it?
Okay. I came across it because someone on Instagram messaged me and said, I saw you're moving to Panama. I think you'd be really interested in this building technique. My husband heard about it and he wants to start building them. And like she was kind of trying to sell me her husband, us like hiring her husband or something. Anyway, she sent me the link to Dome Gaia, which is the Dome Gaia founded by, I forget the guy's name, Steve or something. He was like an engineer. He started building these domes out of Aircrete many years ago. And then it kind of just like organically turned into this business where they now create they have like workshops, and they have created the tools that you can buy to like create your own Aircrete blocks and build your own domes. And they have like an ebook where they teach you how to do it. Anyways, I saw these domes. I started like doing research on them, and I was like, wow, I think this could be like perfect for like an option to build in when we moved to Panama, because this was when we were starting to think about, what kind of home we would want to build here, because we assumed we would buy land without a house on it, because you just can't find farms with houses on it here.
Yeah, at this point we were already looking into like building a home in Panama or Costa Rica, but I think we're at Panama at that point. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how she started looking for it. It wasn't because, let's build a dome in Turlock, and then
Yeah, no.
it was mainly because like we were moving to somewhere with a different climate.
Yeah, and like we're going to start completely from scratch. So like, can we do something, completely like a little more creative and on our own terms. And if we're gonna start from scratch, let's build something that's gonna be like really cool and will like work really well with our lifestyle and the climate, like Eddie said. So so I see them. I think they're really cool. I like the way they look. I like how, you know, simple it seems to be to, not like simple in the point where like anybody could do it, but like a lot more simple than, you know, some more complicated architecture. Anyways, I present it, you know, to Eddie like, hey, look, I found these. This is called Aircrete. This is the material that you use to build it, but you have to build it in a dome structure because Aircrete blocks itself are not like super structurally sound. And Eddie immediately was just like,
So like this is how it goes with like everything Nicole presents. She first discovers it, and then she kind of just throws it out there. And I look at her with a, sure, baby, yeah, in the back of my mind, just saying, like, she's freaking crazy. Like, what the heck does she think? We're going to build a freaking dome? Looking like Yoda's house over here.
That's all he said was, yeah, it looks like
Yoda's house. Like, I'll just entertain the idea. Oh, yeah, baby, that's a good idea. Yeah, that may wait.
And I can see right through it. It's not like he sells me on, like, oh, he's totally on board right away. I know he thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah, and my logic is, okay, I'll just say that. If she really cares about it, she'll keep, you know, scratching away at it. And if not, she'll just forget about it. Well, this was one of those ideas that just never went away. And eventually, after like the third or fourth time she mentions it, I'm like, oh, she's pretty serious about this. Like, she really wants to do this. So then I started doing my own research.
I sent you, I think, some like YouTube videos.
Yeah,
or
YouTube videos.
Right? Yeah.
I started looking at stuff, and so I started looking at YouTube videos, and that's how I do my research is YouTube. So I'll just YouTube
or reading headlines.
Or reading headlines, but there's a lot of YouTube videos, and the first thing I noticed was everyone had a ponytail, and everyone was playing the bongo drums.
And had like their shirts off.
And their shirts off, and it looked a little too hippy dippy to me. And I would
the bongo drums.
I would tease Nicole about it, and I would tease Nicole about it because I was just like that whole scene around it was just comical.
Yeah,
to
it
me.
does seem like anyone in the videos who's building them is definitely on that edge of the spectrum of like
lifestyle.
I'm a vegan and I, you know, haven't cut my hair in 15 years.
So I was just like, and then I started making fun of her. It's like, we're gonna hire a bunch of hippies to come out and build us a house. And then but I kept watching videos, and I actually thought the houses looked really cool. I started doing research just on the material, and I really don't care about the pros. She already told me the pros of the material. I was more interested in the cons, like what are the negatives? Because like when someone's selling you something, they just tell you the good things. So I wanted to know the negatives about it, and I just felt like the negatives weren't that big of a deal, and compared to the pros of it. And eventually I was like, well, let's just build one and let's go for it.
Yeah, and there really aren't very many negatives. I mean, can you think of the ones that you saw?
I think the biggest negative was that like it wasn't as like tough as like concrete, but
as like a regular cinder block. Yes.
But
that's why you don't use them to build regular walls, like 90-degree angle walls. Yeah.
But even just like if a car's gonna run into your house, a car's gonna run into your house.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah. Or a tree, but like even people have said like trees have fallen on them and they're strong, like they don't just crack apart.
Nicole started like looking for people to help us.
Yeah. Our original plan was kind of like, okay, what we'll do is we'll build a dome home on our land, and it'll kind of be smaller and it'll be like our guest house, and then once we get that up. We'll live in that, and then we'll build like, our larger like dream house or something. And that was the original plan, right?
Yeah, that was the
and
original
we'll see if we
plan.
like it. We'll see if we like the dome. And it's turned into now like, oh, we're just designing like our dream dome house. It's still like not this humongous mansion, but we didn't ever want a humongous mansion.
Yeah.
Like, we're not looking to come out here and build like a luxury house at all. But we did end up making it a bit bigger than we originally had thought, because we're like, you know what, we are going to use a good portion of money for this, and we are probably going to live in it for many years before we're able to build another house.
Yeah.
So let's just build this one exactly how we want it, and then we can either build another one just like it as a guest house, or build a smaller one as a guest house now is kind of what we're leaning towards.
Yeah.
A few reasons why we decided to choose this option versus like a conventional like building. And the thing too is here, like, they do use cinder blocks from all of the houses. They don't do like wood frames here, just because of the humidity. And I mean, anytime we've seen a house going up here, they use cinder blocks.
Yeah, and
So-
I think that was one of the main reasons why I opened up to it so much, because I was like, we live in a cinder block home right now. It just gets really hot.
It's not great.
I don't really see. I was like, I'm not really in love with the cinder block homes how they're made right here right now.
Yeah.
So like, let's just try something new, and take a gamble on this. And
At least I personally, and I think Eddie's kind of on this now too, like, we want to be a part of the building process. We want to actually like be getting our hands dirty doing it, and like moving cinder blocks around and stuff is like a lot of like heavy manual labor. Whereas when you build Aircrete blocks, Aircrete, for those of you who, I mean, a lot of people probably don't know, I didn't know about it before. Aircrete is basically like, an Aircrete block is like a cinder block, but before you create the blocks, you like inject a foaming agent like dish soap into the concrete, and so it creates these bubbles within the concrete and all these air pockets. So it creates these large, that you make the form, you pour it into forms and make these blocks, and the blocks weigh around maybe 10 pounds at the most, versus a cinder block that weighs probably like 40 pounds.
yeah, 25 to 40 pounds.
Yeah. So it's super light. Like, the kids can help like carry these blocks around and stuff. It's a lot easier to move, and then it's a lot easier to manipulate after you've set it in. So you can use like hand saws and stuff to like cut out windows and stuff like that. Whereas cinder block, obviously you can't do that because it's such a stronger material. So Aircrete domes are, you use the Aircrete blocks to build this dome. So like the dome, the arch structure gives it the structural integrity that you would need. If you didn't do a dome, like, you couldn't use Aircrete blocks, because the arch is what, like, combined with the lesser strength of the Aircrete is what gives it its strength. Whereas when you use like cinder blocks in a regular home, you have to use like rebar and all sorts of extra stuff to
Make the frame.
structurally sound. Yeah. So it's, it's mold proof, it's bug proof. Once like the dome is sealed, like, you're not having all these, because there's no joints, everything's like sealed in, so it's termite proof. There's a lot of termites here.
Yeah, we see
everywhere.
We see them in the trees.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's I said mold proof, it's fireproof, it's waterproof, it's earthquake proof. So there's a ton of pros, especially in this kind of climate, to using one. It's because the ceiling is so high, and then every single dome, it has a skylight with like an opening, so the hot air is released out the top. So it holds its temperature really well, so you can keep it cooler when it's really hot outside. We don't have to worry about keeping it warm, because
It's always warm here.
it's always hot here. But if you were in like a colder climate, it would be easy to keep it warm with like a small fire. It like insulates very well. That's why we chose it. I would suggest like looking up Dome Gaia or Aircrete domes online, and like a little bit of research, you can like learn more about it. It's really cool, and like the idea behind it is really cool. So I went on Dome Gaia's website, and they have like a community forum, and I just put a post on there and said like, hey, we're moving to Panama and we're looking to build, design and build a dome home down there. Is anyone interested in helping? And I got a response from these two men. One lives in Spain. His name is Matt. And the other guy lives in California, and his name is Ignacio. And so we're actually working with both of them now, and they've both been doing this for a long time. And Matt actually has been like designing, like, because it is a different type of building, like getting permits for it can be complicated, but he's been building like permitted domes for a while now, and they've both been doing it for like, I'm pretty sure like 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So they have tons of experience.
Yeah, and they have photos to
of their portfolio.
Yeah. And so that was good to see.
Yeah.
We're not the first one.
No, yeah, they're not like, oh, I'm just starting out, I'll help you.
Yeah, so they've been good to work with, and this is kind of more of Nicole's project. I kind of just like hang out and listen in and chirp in every now and then, but it's,
You just want to make sure there's air conditioning?
my biggest thing is I can have air conditioning, but yeah, I mean, like, the more pictures we see of the designs that Matt has, the more excited I get to be living in the dome. We've been making silly little phrases like "dome, sweet dome" and stuff like that.
Yeah. So Matt is our designer. So we're working with him. He's the one who's actually designing the blueprints for us. So we've already like agreed. We've been doing it for about a month now, and we have like Zoom calls with him because he lives in Spain, like I said, with his family. And so we're working, virtually with him and via email and stuff. And we've been adjusting the floor plan over the last month and just like adding different things. And then Ignacio is actually going to be our builder. So he's going to come here. He's a part of the design process too. He's actually made some really great suggestions and adaptations to Matt's design. So we're all kind of working together. Matt's just like the leader kind of. So Ignacio is going to come here when it's time to build. He's going to train us along with a few other people as a crew and help us get started. He'll be here for a few weeks, and then he'll leave while like our local contractor and his crew take over. So that's how that'll work. Yeah, so we are working with a local contractor also who we talked to probably a couple of months ago and said like, hey, we have this idea. We want to build a dome out of Aircrete. Like, what do you think? And he seemed pretty open to it.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing that was encouraging too was, you have to be pretty, because it is kind of goofy when you don't really...
When you've never heard of it,
heard of it,
yeah.
And you just kind of hear about it. And then when we talked to Yvonne, our local contractor, he had a pretty good attitude about it, which kind of gave me a reason to hire it when we talked to him. And he basically told us like, hey, if it can be made, it can be made. Like, he was just all for learning, and
yeah, he's totally open to it, which was really cool.
Yeah, and he even said like, maybe this could be a new technique that we could use down here to build homes, and I'm excited to try it out because I mean,
I think it could. It's less expensive than cinder blocks.
Yeah, that was one of those selling points for me, is like it's cheaper.
Yeah, so all in all, like this project will be definitely less expensive than building like a conventional home. Yeah. We should have the like final blueprints from Matt within, the next month. And then what we'll do is we'll work with our local contractor, and then he introduce us to a local architect who will help get our plans approved by the local municipalities. I was silly enough to think like we could just get the plans and like get going, but I was like, oh, it's Panama, I'm sure we could just build out there. No one will care. It's just our land, right? But that was stupid of me.
Our builder basically told us like they'll shut us down pretty quickly.
Yeah, they'll shut us down. Yeah, and then in order to get our electricity set up, like we have to show them the plans for our house and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of like an intertwined process. So we are hoping to start building as of this last week, when we kind of talked with our contractor and then our builder Ignacio. Middle of February is when we're hoping to start. And have Ignacio come and start training the crew and training us. I'm really excited to be involved in it and to learn about it. I mean, I would love to like know enough to like where we could potentially build another one of these by ourselves if we wanted to, like just a small one, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
our brain starts twirling with ideas because, yeah, I mean, if the material is easy to work with, you can put these up pretty quickly
Yeah.
if you know what you're doing.
The dome that we're designing is going to be like, you know, living room, a couple bedrooms, a bathroom, that kind of thing. But like you could put up like one single dome
Okay.
for like an office or a store
A
or
studio.
yeah, a studio to rent out, something like that pretty quickly.
It's just knowing the how to make the mix is the biggest thing, I guess.
Yeah, which we're gonna learn hopefully. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to learn about it. I think Jude is really gonna enjoy it because he's really into building. Right, Jude? Are you excited to help? Yes? Yeah, Jude is excited to be a part of it, and because it is, like I said, like a light, like he can help move the bricks around and stack them and put mortar in, and you know, this is like gonna be our home for a very long time, and like I really think it'll be really special to like have our hands in this whole process, not just like, you know, standing on the side in our clean shiny boots like pointing and telling people what to do. Like I want to be getting dirty and like working and like building our home ourselves, you know, like
We don't have that kind of money to do that.
the last thing we want to talk about is just some of the special features that we wanted to add on to it. Like we said, it's not just a basic dome. We're, you know, making it a little bit bigger and more involved, I guess. You want to talk about some of that stuff?
Yeah, so it's gonna basically be 3 domes all connected with hallways. The living room dome and the 2 bedrooms, one for us and the one for the kids. And one thing that we noticed down here is like you do a lot of stuff outside. So we're gonna have an outdoor kitchen, and like a really nice outdoor bathroom. And we really want to try to collect as much rainwater because we get so much rainwater here. Our house, we're here to sleep, and then we're here during like the middle of the day when it's probably the hottest. But other than that, in the mornings and the afternoons, evenings, we're kind of outside hanging out. So we're just trying to make it like a how do we make both of those convenient? You know, when we're inside, just keep it comfortable, and then have nice outdoor area for when we are outside, when we're cooking outside, and you know, and hanging out outside. It's all outside. So we're just trying to make it comfortable in both spaces.
Yeah. The boys will have their space in their room, and we're going to do some cool, like, loft beds with, you know, like shelving and benches and stuff underneath for them to each have their own kind of little desk space. We'll both have walk-in closets. We'll have an office space in our room. I'm really excited. Like, Matt's just had, like, a lot of really great ideas, that, you know, we hadn't even thought about. And then we'll have one big main kitchen living area with like kind of a smallish like kitchen inside, and then outside, like Eddie said, will be like our main, like that's where our big stove and oven will go for, you know, baking and stuff will be done outside under this really nice covered kitchen area that will overlook like a large portion of the farm, which will be really cool to sit out there and eat and cook and, you know, watch the cows walking around and see all, you know, the animals and the trees and the flowers and plants. We finally decided on a building site. We moved it like 6 different times. Originally we were going to build on one side of the farm, and then we decided to build all the way on like the opposite back side of the farm once we started exploring over there, and then we moved it again, and now I think we have a really nice like elevated spot that will be not too close to any fence lines and not too close to like a road or anything. So we'll have privacy and like really nice views like all around the whole house. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to share more about the process as we like start building and stuff. And I hope that after, you know, Yvonne and his crew like learn about it here, that they build more of them around here. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, hopefully.
It'd be like really cool.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I think they're a really great option. And like I said, if you just build a small one with like a bathroom attached, like you can get those up in like a month, you know. Ours will probably take, I mean, at least I'm assuming like 4 months. Ignacio said something like 3 to 4 months to get, you know, the main structure all done, just because it is a little more complicated. But that's still like such a short time to get like a house up, I feel like.
It's all new experience to us.
Yeah, and there are times when we're like looking at the floor plan and designing things, and I'm just like, I can't believe we're actually like designing our own house. It's like really exciting and fun, and also kind of like nerve-wracking, because like if you like regret something eventually, it's like your own fault, because
It's on you.
you're the one who designed it. So yeah, like Eddie said, I mean, we are just trying to create a really nice space for us to, you know, relax as a family. Indoor time is, well, there's not tons of indoor time, but like definitely afternoon rests, and obviously sleeping in a comfortable, beautiful space, and cooking. We love to have people over, so we want to make sure it's like good for hosting. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have a home on that land. A lot of people here, you know, they live in town and then they have their farm somewhere else, but we're excited to like actually live on our farm, you know, just like we did in Turlock, but obviously a much bigger farm space.
Yeah.
And we're actually moving tomorrow into town to a new apartment, and we're going to be really close to the farm. Our farm will be right down the road, and so when we do start building, it's going to be really convenient, and that's where we'll be living, I think, unless we find something else. That's where we'll be living until we move into our own dome home.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll put a few links in the description if you're interested in looking this up. I think it's really interesting, and we're excited to build it, and we think it's going to be a really great option for us, and just really beautiful too. So that's all we have for domes. Doming it up.
I'm domed out.
We're domed out. All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
See you later.
Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time on the Pana Familia podcast.